Hello everyone, welcome to the vintage side. In this video I will be baking 3 vintage biscuit recipes. These recipes are all from the early 30s. The first one is from 1932. It featured in the Australian Women's Mirror. It was part of an advert for Mum's baking powder. I will be making the recipe which is for coconut rock cakes. For this recipe we need flour, butter, sugar, coconut, baking powder and an egg. The recipe also says that we need a little milk when we're mixing all the dry ingredients together. Let's get started. The method for the biscuits is put the flour into a basin and add the baking powder. Then rub the butter thoroughly into the flour and mix the sugar and coconut with it. Whisk the egg and a little milk and moisten the dry ingredients. Beat the mixture well for 5 minutes, then take up small portions at a time with 2 forks and place it in rough little heap on a buttered baking tin and bake it once in a quick oven for about 15 minutes. I had preheated my oven to 180 degrees Celsius. The recipe suggests cooking them in a quick oven. Based on previous biscuit recipes, they're usually cooked anywhere from 150 to 180. The recipe stated that they would be done after around 15 minutes and mine were golden brown after 12.5 minutes. So at 180, depending on your oven, biscuits will take around 12.5 to 13 minutes. Now I'm going to let these cool and then I'll have a taste. These are really delicious. They're not overly sweet and they're really moist inside. You definitely get that coconut, which is absolutely delicious. I would definitely recommend this recipe. This recipe is from 1934 and it's called Brunette Biscuits. For this recipe, you need flour, brown sugar, butter, eggs, golden syrup, and cream of tartar and bicarb soda. To make these biscuits, add the cream of tartar and the bicarb soda to the flour and mix together. Then rub the butter into the flour until it resembles breadcrumbs. Add the sugar. In a separate bowl, beat the eggs well and add the syrup. Then stir that into the other ingredients to make it into a stiff paste. Roll out the dough and cut into shapes. Bake in a fairly hot oven for 10 to 12 minutes.
These biscuits are really good. They are not too dry and not too moist. Nice good bite, and I think they would go really well with tea or a coffee or a nice warm beverage.
This next recipe is from August 1933. It was submitted by Edith E. from Gracemere in Queensland. This recipe is called No Egg Biscuits. For these biscuits, we will need milk, butter, sugar, bicarb and flour. We need to bring the milk and sugar to a boil in a saucepan and then stir in the bicarb soda. We need to leave this mixture to cool. Then rub the butter into the flour. Add the cooled milk and sugar mixture, and we can also add some flavorings. Roll out the dough thin. Cut into shapes and bake in a hot oven for 10 to 15 minutes. I will be baking these biscuits at around 180 degrees Celsius in a fan-forced oven, and I'm going to see how they turn out after 10 minutes. Here are the no egg biscuits out of the oven, all nice and golden brown. I cooked these at 180 degrees Celsius in a fan-forced oven, and they did take the recommended 10 minutes. I'm going to let these cool and then I'll have a taste. Here we are with nice cool biscuits, and let's have a taste. These biscuits would go great with a nice warm drink, whether it's tea or coffee or hot chocolate. They do have a very nice flavour. With the process of dissolving the sugar in the milk and kind of caramelizing that, you do get that caramelized sugar flavour, which is really nice. And as a base, these would be really great for having other flavours added.
Also, if you swapped out the milk and the butter for a vegan alternative, these biscuits would then be vegan.